Good afternoon, students. So the topic previously we have learned about the neurons, its structure. So now it's time to learn about the neuroglia cells. So what is the neuroglia cells? So these are the supporting cells. Like these support, nourishes and provide a structural component and support to the neurons because neurons are the very delicate structure. Like if you receive some parcel from the Amazon or some fragile substance, then there's a fragile material is kept in between, and there are a lot of packing material which is kept outside. So like that, these are the neuroglia cells. So neuroglia cells are basically the packing material for the neurons. So these are what? These are highly branched because you know need to support it from all the sides. It's more in volume. Like many number, it's like 5 times more, 2 to 5 times more than neurons. And basically it does not conduct any impulses or it does not transmit any impulses. It is non-conducting. Like nervous system, it is very conducting. It can easily transfer the impulses from one place to other, one tissue to other. But unlike that, it is non-conducting. And basically, what is the basic function, why it is there? So just to support and to provide nourishment to nourish the nervous tissue, form a insulation around that, so that there are delicate insulation around neurons. So our dear delicate neurons are protected with the help of these neuroglial cells. So neuroglial cells are very important, as you know, in general anatomy, and it can be asked in neuro as a very important SAQs or part of LAQs. If full description is asked, like what is neuroglial cells or define neuroglial cells and classify and its classification and example in central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So it can be asked as your long question. Okay, so this is about them. Now we know very quickly. I'm only highlighting you the important points because I don't want you to be so I'm just highlighting on the most important points which is important for MCQs and for exam. So we can classify it into various cells, like we have star-shaped astrocytes, then we have oligodendrocytes, then we have glioblast cell, we have ependymal cells. Okay, so first we are going to discuss astrocyte. Astrocyte means star. So it's the shape resembles the star. So star shape. So it is star shaped. So it's a highly branched with what? How branching is there? Lots of dendrites. And the process of dendrite, so like you can draw a diagram. This is the dendrite process. We can see it's a highly branched, and the dendritic process, this will end at the various foot plate. It's highly branched and it ends another foot plate or foot process. So these are the important things, and it will form a sleeve around the vascular tissues, or capillaries which are there, like it is the blood vessel. So vascular tissue and capillaries, so it form a sheath around that. So this is about the astrocytes. Now these astrocytes can be differentiated again into what? Into two type. What is the fibrous astrocytes? Mind it, this is the classification in the central nervous system, not in peripheral nervous system. So fibrous and protoplasmic. So you know, in if there is a white something white or it's look more fibrous, so this fibrous astrocyte is present in white matter, and this present in your gray matter. So this is in short. So most important is the presence of food process. So if MCQs is asked the type of neuroglial cells having the food process or forming a sheath around the blood vessels, so your answer will be astrocytes. Now coming to the oligodendrocyte. Oligo means less or very few. So these are smaller with fewer dendritic process. As you see in this astrocytes, we have more branching and dendrocytes. Here we have fewer dendritic process. Okay, very few. So you can see this is the cell and one or two. This is the central cell. So it is very few dendritic process. So this is the oligodendrocytes. So what is the function of oligodendrocytes? So function, we can remember what? COPS. COPS. So what do you mean by COPS? So this oligodendrocyte will do the process of myelination, help in the myelination in central nervous system. This is just a trick and very common to remember. And in peripheral nervous system, we have Schwann cell. We will discuss it later on. Okay, so this is oligodendrocytes. Now coming to your glioblast cells. So what is glioblast cells? So glioblast cells are the stem cells. These are the stem cells. So stem cells, as you know, it has the regenerating power. So it will regenerate to form the microglial cells. And we have this macroglial cells. Micro and macro. So as the name suggests, macro means big. So this is the swelly cell with large euchromatic nuclei and highly pigmented nuclei. So this is the micro. And we have one small cells with highly branched dendritic branching will be there. The cell size is small, so this is known as microglial cells. This is micro and this is macro. This is macro. Macro means big, so this is macro, and this is micro. Okay, micro means small, so you can see small size, and this is macro, so you can see big size of the cells. And then we have ependymal cells. So what is ependymal cells? Ependymal cells are the flat cells having that processes like finger-like projections or processes over that and the cells. So these are forming like a tiles or the walls. So these lines, the various ventricular cavities. There are many ventricular cavities like central canal of spinal cord, and we have many ventricles like lateral ventricle present in cerebral hemisphere, and we have third ventricle. So all the ventricle cavity, all the fill cavity, so it has finger-like projection. So it forms a wall-like plate or endothelial-like cells are there. These are known as the ependymal cells. So these are the type of neuroglial cell which is present in central nervous system. Now coming to peripheral nervous system, so it's very simple, only two type of cells will be there. One is your satellite cells and other is your Schwann cells. So Schwann cells, as you know, it cause what? Myelination in the peripheral nerves. So peripheral nerve system, and one is your satellite cells. So neuroglial cells, now I will make it PNS, peripheral nervous system. As a student, you are not supposed to use this short form PNS, CNS. This I am just telling you for the quick thing, but you should say in your exam central nervous system or peripheral nervous system. So for peripheral nervous system, we have these satellite cell, and we have this Schwann cell. So this is the cell which cause myelination in peripheral nerves, and this is like a satellite cell. This is cell and it is interrupted nuclei and the cytoplasm or material, and these satellite cells are present in the sensory ganglia or dorsal root ganglia. So these are important in conduction of the nerve impulses. Sorry, not in conduction, but these support the various peripheral nervous system, and those cells support the central nervous system. So basic function is structural and in support from all the sides. So this is all about that neuroglial cells. Thank you so much.